We love featuring indie artists on the show, and today we're heading out on the road to chat with award-winning singer-songwriter GM Blacktop. GM's full-length album Still Real is out now. He also just won the Songwriter of the Year award at this year's International Singer-Songwriters Association Awards ceremony in Georgia. We're excited to have GM Blacktop on the show. First, GM, thanks so much for coming on.
Well, it sure is my pleasure, I gotta tell you.
Yeah, well, you were just parking. Where are you at?
I'm delivering at Costco some produce.
Nice. Where are you? Are you in the States? Are you in Canada? Where are you at?
Currently, I'm delivering in Montreal, Canada. But I most of the time I'm in the States. But this particular trip is going to Montreal, Canada. So.
Wow. You've been a trucker for over 25 years. How many miles have you went on the road?
About 2.6 million, probably, somewhere in there.
Wow. I mean, you've seen a lot, covered a lot of ground. How is it going right now in the trucking industry? I mean, things cannot be easy with the price of fuel and everything else that's going on.
No, it's been pretty difficult. It's one of the few industries that, does not kind of roll with the times. Like most industries, as things get more expensive, just become more expensive to get the job done. But unfortunately, trucking is, the rates that we're getting today are very similar to what we saw 20 years ago when prices of fuel was 1/3 the price,
Yeah.
So it's kind of unfortunate, but it is what it is.
It's got to be.
We all choose our poison, I guess, right?
Yeah, for sure. So, I mean, you're originally from Canada. How long did you grow up in Canada?
Just when I was a youngster, I grew up in Canada, and then as I became more of a teen and early adult, then things started moving to the States, and with trucking and all that, that was 90% of my time in the States. And then, of course, years ago, I had some different visas and whatnot that allowed me to live down. I lived in Memphis and lived in Cleveland, and had a trucking company down here, and so it's been. I guess you could say kind of colorful, a bit of all over, I guess you could say.
Yeah. Now, your home base now is what, in Michigan?
Yeah, Michigan.
So how often are you home?
It just depends on the way the tide rolls. Sometimes as I get home for a day or two, probably 3 or 4 days a month, somewhere in there.
Wow. 3 or 4 days a month.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is how often he's home. Well, I saw the video for the Blacktop made me this way. The video in it. How old is that video? Because that's you performing.
Yeah, that's me performing. I think that particular footage was done. I don't know, 10 years, 12 years ago, something like that. The footage itself for the Blacktop made me this way. Yeah.
Yeah, so
my hair is short now. My hair's not long now.
Well, that's what gave it away, because I was like, well, GM's hair is short now, and it's long in this video, and he looks younger.
That's right,
so how long were you performing before, and then did you take a break, or has it been constant?
Well, no, I'm not on the road, not performing right now as much as I was, but I was all the time, because I was doing a parallel between trucks and truck shows, and it's just kind of a common week to have, truck shows and deliver loads and truck shows. And at that time I had guys working with me and whatnot, on the road with me, with shows and stuff. And then, it got a little bit fewer than that. And then of course pandemic hit, and that sort of threw a buzz into everything.
Yeah.
So right now I'm really kind of focusing on studio work and that kind of thing. And, as the world kind of opens itself back up to, more live stuff, I'll get involved in that again as well. But right now it's been sort of I could say the pandemic really kind of messed a lot of things up.
Well, yeah, because your album, Still Real, when did it come out? Like right during the middle of the pandemic?
Well, they just released it kind of right around there. There was several new songs on there that I started working with a new producer, a guy named Daryl Gray. He's with the rock band Helix. I don't know if you ever heard of Helix or not, but
yeah,
they're a very well-known rock band. And he produces all my stuff now, and that was during that whole pandemic thing that all started, even before that. And so a lot of those songs that he's been working with, he worked with me on, and we got them out. So there's a bit more of a rocky tinge to some of them. some of the stuff that was kind of country rock, like Real McCoy and Blacktop, Maybe This Way, and blah blah. Those things were a little bit before, but the newest stuff like Desperado Lover and Diesel Kind of Guy and Razorback and some of these other songs, Daryl Gray was involved in, and he's done a great job with that. And I'm with Indie Tunes Records as well, so that's helpful to get them pushing the music out too.
Well, I didn't realize, because you were on some trucker show a couple months ago. There's really kind of like a performer trucker community out there.
There kind of is, yeah. It's interesting. There's, I think it's because sort of trucks and music kind of go along in a sort of a parallel universe, it seems. You get back to the old trucking music, like 6 Days on the Road with, Dave Dudley and Eastbound and Down and Jerry Reed and Smokey and the Bandit. It's a genre that's kind of has always had its own genre, but nobody ever knew kind of what genre that was. Was it country? was it folk? Was it rock? So I sort of call it highway rock. And what I mean by that is it's kind of a combination of country and rock and anything to do with the motion of the highway, which would include motorcycles, trucks, travelers. Anybody that knows what it's like to be on the road, I think, can kind of get into this music, I think.
Yeah, for sure. Go check him out. GM Blacktop. He's on Facebook. Go check out YouTube. You can see all of his stuff. His album, Still Real, is out now. Boy, congratulations. You go to the ISSA Awards for the first time. You win the 2023 Male Songwriter of the Year. I mean, you went. You took your truck. How did it go?
I think that it was very good, actually. I really enjoyed it. I certainly wasn't expecting that, but I got silver in that category, and I think that for a lot of people, it's a strange genre because it's like you said, a lot of people that are kind of in it one way or the other, but very few people are actual living and breathing the industry. And I think that's one of the reasons why some of the people kind of dig my music, is it's kind of real.
Oh yeah, it's for sure. You're definitely a storyteller, and it's a lot about your life.
Yeah, it's not put on. It's a real life, and it's a real entity, So yeah, I'm proud to be part of it,
Yeah, did you meet a bunch of people?
Oh yeah, I met a bunch of people, nice people, great artists, great artists, and great people that just radio stations and just everybody, just so many great people in this industry.
Yeah. You took your truck there. How much? Did you change your route to go there? How much off the beaten path was it to go to Atlanta?
Well, I delivered in Kentucky, in Knoxville, and then from Knoxville, deadheaded down to Atlanta, and that was about 4 hours. And then, of course, when the show was over, I was about 6 hours to where I had to reload. So yeah, I was definitely off the route. I had to park the truck in a hotel parking lot. So.
Yeah, it took him a little bit to get there, but he made it there and got his truck there. What do you listen to when you're out on the road?
Oh, wow. So much. There's so many great songs out there that are in different genres. As a youngster, of course, I was listening to rock and roll, and my mother always had me listening to Elvis. But as I grew up, mostly rock and roll and country, but lately I've been listening to different things too, and more folk music. I like ballads. I like anything lyrical. I guess being a lyricist kind of allows me to sort of get some of the lyrics and how they came to those lyrics and how they write the songs. And I really enjoy people's stories.
Yeah. Well, and you're telling people your story, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Who does your videos? Do you set up a camera in the truck, or how do you do that?
Combination. The Real McCoy video done was a combination of some footage that I did and also some footage by Red D Films, which is Brent Dormer, who's he's also one of the original guitar players in Helix, but he's got Red D Films. He's out of Cambridge, Ontario, and he's a great friend, and he's done a lot of that work. So.
Yeah, if you go check out his Facebook page, he's got a bunch of videos. You can see inside his truck. Him hanging out, driving down the road. How much? I mean, when I was a kid, we all had a CB in our car because we were in Wyoming. We used to play games. We used to chat. How big is a CB anymore? Does it still exist?
Oh yeah, it exists. I have one in the truck. I always have one with me, and you have to have one that's right too. You can't have one that sounds like a little crybaby. You've got to have one that sounds like, some sort of a god or something like Breaker Denboard, something that really makes sense. So, but nowadays, not many people are using it, or not as many. In fact, I'd even go to say not many are using it, just sort of the diehard. I think what's happened is the age of technology. Now everybody's on their cell phone, and there's not really a huge interest in making that highway communication as there used to be.
Yeah, I mean, you probably lost some of the camaraderie because the CB kind of kept you all together.
Oh yeah, for sure. That definitely has happened. That the road is not like it used to be. That's for sure.
No, I mean, do you feel like a dinosaur out there? Is it a bunch of younger kids, or?
I usually feel like a dinosaur most when I look in the mirror.
Yeah, me too. Don't look in the mirror, Gio. It'll scare you. My brother always says that too. Look in the mirror, it'll scare you. That's not good. Your promoter, though, Angela, we had somebody else on this show who was with her too. I mean, she won the International Singer-Songwriters Award for promoter, and this was like her first time.
Yeah, she's really good. She just does she kind of helped me along in certain ways. She's not my technical promoter, but she's the one that hooked me up on ISSA and kind of helped me along the way. And she's actually the one that got my submissions in time, like to the final few minutes and that kind of thing. And she's a full-fledged promoter for Trenton Chandler out of Fort Myers, Florida.
That's who it was. It was Trenton. Okay.
Yeah, and he's doing well with some new songs too. And so she's a really great lady and a really smart lady and really quite a go-getter. But she works with him full time. That's her main artist. Okay,
yeah, it was Trenton. I was trying to think who it was. That's what you need to do. Yeah. You need to go down to the Keys, hang out with him.
Oh man, I'd like to go that. I would love to live in the Keys, but I think it'd probably be too hot, and I don't think there's much freight moving off that lake, off that ocean.
No. Do you get a vacation?
Now and then I do. In the past, I've gone to places like Philippines and places like that, which I've enjoyed. But not a whole lot. Most years I'm not leaving the country so much. I'm just on the road.
Your song Real McCoy, go check him out. GM Blacktop, his album Still Real is out now. The song Real McCoy, did this come easy to you? Did this just flow out? How was it writing this song?
There's a bit of a story that goes with that song. For me, I was at a point in my life and in my music career where I was starting to catch some different, different disturbances that I had, when it come to, the whole concept of money and how much money you needed, and a lot of the realness of what a lot of some artists were doing, and being phonies in their field, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So for me, it was a real stand. It was sort of an anthem for being the real deal for myself, and I think that's how it came out. I just wanted to be known as the real guy, the real deal.
Yeah, he is the real McCoy. GM Blacktop. What's happening? You said you're focusing on your studio music. Do we have more coming?
Yeah, we have more coming. There's a couple in the studio now. They're just about ready to come out, and there's a bunch of music that's on that album that I think is decent music too, but it just haven't released it as singles yet. So, but yeah, there's gonna be lots of music to come, and I'm hoping to put together some more truck show tours and things like that. So I'm not ready to fall over yet, but I kind of got to get a hold of this industry a little bit because it's a little challenging right now. Kind of making me pretty busy with that right now too. So.
Oh yeah, I mean I couldn't imagine. Because where do you record your music?
In St. Catharines, Ontario, is where I did the last several songs. Some of my songs came out of Nashville with some great people down there. So really between either Nashville or Ontario, one of the two.
Yeah, because when you're
And
home when you're home for 3 or 4 days a month, it can't be easy to knock out a couple tunes.
No, it's difficult to, so a lot of the stuff gets done when I'm not there, and then of course I'll go and bang the vocal out and do what I've got to do with the song. And sometimes the song will take 8-9 months to put together once it's all underway. So it's not a quick process.
No.
I wish I had the luxury of just kind of being there all the time, but unfortunately in this world we have to, keep working. And the other thing, working kind of helps me stay true to my music, so I'm sort of okay with that.
Well, exactly. He's got to keep it up. He's the real McCoy. That's what he's got to do. GM Blacktop. Go and check him out. He's on Facebook, YouTube. The album Still Real is out now. What were you saying, GM?
I was going to say, I don't want to have to ever get up on stage and say I used to be the real McCoy or something like that. People might frown on that.
Well, exactly. He still has to drive truck one way or the other to keep it real and to pay the bills. Go and like him. Right. Here's his song, Real McCoy. Safe travels to you, GM, and thanks so much for coming on.
Thank you so much. And you and your radio station both rock.
Thank you so much. Here he is.
Thanks so much.
It's the real McCoy. It's GM Blacktop. It's KIX 96.5.